Hey, what's up everybody? Rob Marzullo here, Ramp Studio Comics. Welcome back. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to box in the upper torso. So this can be a neat way to kind of draw the upper abdomen or torso area in a perspective. And by boxing in like this, it can actually help you with things like symmetry, alignment, even proportions. So a lot of artists will kind of shun this kind of method because they're like, well, I'm too advanced for that, or that doesn't really coincide with the organic shapes. And I can kind of see that or get that, I guess. But I think that personally this method can be beneficial. Essentially, I like to try all things that I can get my hands on and ultimately my eyes on, my mind wrapped around. I try to, mix it up because I never know when a certain method is going to really open some mental barrier for me, some mental roadblock, as I like to say. But yeah, so essentially with this, get that box shape in that's obviously very easy to see the perspective on. I blue lined it here, but you can just soft erase it or whatever you want to do there. And then draw over it and start to get in your shapes. But notice that I'm using very primitive shapes. I started with some like a V for the collarbones, kind of a upside down V for the abdomen or the rib cage. And then I start to block in these other basic shapes. But I'm ultimately trying to keep them very primitive and very just suggestive of the shapes, not very drawn in yet. The more that you can hold back from drawing in, and notice that what I'm trying to show you there in the chest is that those muscles all converge and connect right to that point of the shoulder. But anyways, the more you can draw these as primitive shapes and just kind of place everything and wait to detail, the more you tend to get a little bit more fluidity in that work. If you jump right to structuring and right to drawing your anatomy in too early on, or without structuring basically, or without doing those primitive shapes or suggestive shapes, you can tend to kind of miss the mark, I guess. There's lots of ways to interpret this, but essentially, if you don't allow yourself time to kind of think about what you're going to put down, you just rush right in and put it down. You can make some mistakes, and you'll settle on those mistakes because you just kind of went in with this finality in your mind. I'm just going to draw the stomach muscle. I'm going to draw it exactly the way I see it. And although that's okay at times, I think you tend to get more expressiveness and more improved drawing when you don't allow that to happen too quickly. So you sketch very lightly. You kind of feel out the process before committing to it. So that's ultimately why I talk about in the drawing process, keeping it rough for as long as possible. Now, I didn't draw very rough in this particular way, but it's because I worked up with a structured approach, and I just slowly picked at the muscle shapes before I came back in at this level where I'm refining. Now I'm basically making my decisions. I've got enough of the base information in place to where I can now draw through it with some confidence because I've worked up to it. So I'm going to be doing a variety of these videos where I show different body parts. We're going to work on the torso for the next few just because there's different angles, and some of them I'll maybe do a couple torso shots in one. I wanted this just to be one because I wanted to first get you to see that that blocking in method that we're going to be doing. And then we're also going to start blocking it in and also drawing the pelvis with the upper torso. But I wanted to start first with the torso. I think it's very helpful to do studies like this and really pay attention to parts of the overall whole. The whole being obviously the entire body. But I think that if you just jump into drawing the entire body, it can kind of confuse you. It can be a little bit too complex for most artists. But here, when you itemize certain areas of the body, you can really study it. You can really start to learn each area more in depth. So with this area here, I'm showing you how we're going to be doing the next workups where we do the torso and the pelvis. So hopefully you found this beneficial. I'd love to know what you think in the comments section below. There's going to be more of these studies coming your way very soon. So make sure to comment. Let me know what you'd like to see, what you struggle with, what you face, and also what you learn. So thanks very much for watching. Keep drawing, keep having fun, and I will talk to you soon.